Good Wednesday evening, Southeast Texas. Welcome to 12 News Plus. We'll be taking your questions like I'm answering a question right now, and we'll be doing an in-depth look at your 7-day forecast. Somebody was asking about whether or not they're going to put down some grass Friday and Saturday. Will the rain hold off until noon? Friday it might, but Saturday may have rain most of the day the way it looks right now. So I will just send that right quick. Otherwise, I hope you're doing well this Wednesday evening. And first off, let's take a look at the forecast. And as you can see, pretty quiet out there. Just a little bit of cirrus, if you will, on the Roofing 911 Skycam network. So here's the plan over the next 7 days. It looks like wet weather coming up Friday and Saturday. Then lower chances as high pressure temporarily builds back into the area early next week. That'll cut rain chances and boost afternoon high temperatures. So it's pretty straightforward as far as the forecast. The only question is how much rain are we going to get Friday and Saturday? We'll try to ascertain that in just a minute. As far as your allergy report, looking at, let's see, mold has gone down compared to today. No changes on weed and grass pollen, still moderate levels on the weed pollen across Southeast Texas. Otherwise, tomorrow I'll go with a high of 95 here in Beaumont and about a 20% coverage of late afternoon showers and storms. The clouds will be on the increase tomorrow afternoon as that tropical wave, or at least tropical disturbance, heads our way. It's really an upper level trough. And as you can see, the clouds will be on the increase tomorrow. Modeling showing highs near 98. It has a tendency to be a little too warm like it was today. We were supposed to be at 97, didn't do that. In the lakes area, light and variable winds are expected. We'll go with a 10% coverage of late afternoon showers and thunderstorms on Thursday as clouds begin to increase across the area. And tomorrow, yeah, I like those high temperatures, about 97, and looks like anywhere from 73 to 75 in the lakes area coming up for tomorrow afternoon. In the morning, I should say. So here's your 7-day temperature outlook, at least here in Beaumont. 95 to 97 across the area coming up on Thursday. The rain chances, again, the rains may not start until late morning, maybe early afternoon on Friday, and then odds are that you'll have a chance of rain pretty much most of the day on Saturday. So Friday and Saturday, we get a break on the temperatures a bit, and then look how the temperatures go back up as we work on into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week as that inverted trough, the disturbance moves away from the area, and as high pressure rebuilds, those highs go back up. As far as your rain chances, they mirror the, are just the opposite of the temperatures. Low chances of rain coming up on Thursday. Friday and Saturday is going to be our best chances. Look how they chances really go down Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I went with just a 20% Monday and also Wednesday, nothing on Tuesday across Southeast Texas. So as you can see, this is the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. And right now, it's pretty low. See that right there? And I think we're about right there on the legend. So it's fairly dry for our area. Look how the moisture levels go up on Friday and Saturday and then start going back down as we head towards early next week. I'm discounting this right now. I don't know if that's going to be quite that much coming up next Wednesday, but I do think that Friday and Saturday, that's when we're going to see our best chances of rain, and it could be some locally heavy stuff coming up Friday and Saturday. This is a very tropical air mass. So we go from here all the way up to orange. So that's a lot of moisture on this particular scale moving into our area. When you get the atmosphere loaded with moisture, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see 100% coverage of rain. What that means is that if you get some cells to develop, some stronger cells, then they could really dump some heavy rainfall. I would not be surprised of seeing some 2 to 3 inch rainfall rates per hour in some of the heavier cells. That is, we do that. And that is certainly possible coming up on Friday and Saturday. But as you can see, the rain chances or the amount of moisture really goes down Monday into Tuesday. And again, Wednesday, this is an outlier. We'll see if that materializes, and I'll show you the upper level pattern. But basically, high pressure is going to be north of our area, and some moisture is going to try to sneak underneath that into our area from Louisiana on next Wednesday. We'll see if that materializes. It's pretty quiet out there right now. Temperatures in the 90s, at least at the airports across the state. Again, monsoonal moisture out in West Texas, but again, pretty quiet over our area because of high pressure. It's this activity over into the north central Gulf and also the eastern Gulf. We've got one piece of energy and then a second piece of energy, the real area of that we're going to be monitoring. But again, its proximity to land and shear, I just don't feel like this is going to significantly develop as we head on into Friday. It's going to be running out. It's moving pretty quickly. Let's just put it that way. So, like late Friday, I think it's going to be already along the Texas coastline. So we'll see. But again, Hurricane Center pretty much agrees with just a very unlikely scenario. So tonight, fair to partly cloudy skies. A lot of cirrus off towards our east. We may see that in and out of the picture coming up through today, through the overnight period. Tonight, I should say. Mid-70s lakes, mid to upper 70s and lower 80s are expected coming up for tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow, most of the day should be dry. It's going to be hot, and we'll get into the mid-90s pretty much area-wide. Unsure if we'll see 96 or 97 here in Beaumont. I think that's possible up in the lakes, but maybe not here in the Triangle. Regardless, we're going to be watching that moisture move on in. So as you can see, by quitting time, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, we'll go with the 10, maybe 20% coverage. And that's what we're going to see, is that the moisture is going to be directed by high pressure. Remember, clockwise flow around high pressure, it's dragging that moisture in. This is real tropical moisture. As you can see, way up that legend, more moisture. And that is what we're going to see as we head towards tomorrow afternoon. We're just on the edge of it. So 10 to 20% coverage late day. It's really Friday, late Friday, that we'll see this inverted trough is what we call it. It's just the opposite of a normal trough that brings us cold fronts, but it's an inverted trough, upper level disturbance. And again, I put in the shear at 300 millibars, way up in the atmosphere. And as you can see, 20 to 30 mile per hour shear along the Texas and Louisiana coastline. That's not usually conducive to producing tropical systems. So small chance of development, and if it does, it would be weak. It would not be a named storm, I don't think, if it does develop. And I'm not saying that it will, but I don't think it will. And again, that's a remote possibility from what we're seeing right now. So this comes on in as we work towards Friday night and moves away, and that puts quite a bit of moisture, southerly winds straight off the Gulf as we work on into Saturday. So it looks like a good chance of rain both Friday and Saturday across southeast Texas. No questions, just checking our text number. But as you can see, the moisture begins moving away from our area as we work on into early next week. High pressure rebuilds across the area Monday and Tuesday. Look at the moisture moving away from our area. That will lower our rain chances. And then the flow around that high, which you can see is basically right over our area, is in a clockwise fashion, the flow around it. So this is the way, in a clockwise fashion, that the air will move as we head towards Monday. So what happens with all this moisture as we get into next Monday? Will it be dragged around into our area as we head towards maybe late Tuesday? That's a possibility as we look at what happens. See how that's being dragged on in? And that's because of the flow around high pressure, which moves off towards our west. It's a weak high up towards Dallas. And again, the flow is around the high. So that could be either a Tuesday or Wednesday sneaky, is what I like to call it, a sneak attack of shower and thunderstorm activity coming in from the east. We'll see if that materializes. Right now, we'll go with just a 20% coverage, but something to watch in subsequent days as we get more data and take a look at that. So on the Gulf tomorrow, looking at slightly choppy seas around 1 to 2 feet. Should be fine. Boating conditions with west winds at 5 to 10 knots. High tides at Sabine Pass at 5:20 a.m. and 1:36 p.m. And that sunset getting a little earlier each night, and it's starting to change as we head into the last part of summer. 8:14 p.m. we still got August to go through, but as you can see, the sunset getting later each day. Water temperature 92. So we'll go in the mid 70s in lakes, mid to upper 70s and lower 80s triangle. Winds are expected to be calm, and it's going to be warm and humid. Tomorrow, increasing cloudiness and about a 10 to 20% coverage of showers and thunderstorms are expected coming up for tomorrow afternoon across southeast Texas. It's going to be after 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll go 96, 97, maybe a 98 in the lakes, in the mid 90s, low to mid 90s here in the triangle. Taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast again. Friday, Saturday, we think is going to be our best chances of rain and thunderstorm activity. That has not changed. So what I've done is I've looked at what 6 forecast models are dropping here in Beaumont. As you can see, the GFS dropped 0.6 of an inch. It's not really important what these are. You know what the euro is. You've probably heard us say that a million times. But as you can see, here in Beaumont, what the models actually drop. Now, this is not just deterministic. There's some ensembles there. But the average of the 6 long-range models that I look at dropped between 1.8 and 0.6 of an inch of rainfall. And I've included the Weather Prediction Center. It has 1.25 inches. This is from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The average of those is 1.16 inches of rainfall. Lower amounts will be up in the lakes, higher amounts along the coastline, and yes, you could see some 2, 3, 4 inch totals out in the Gulf of Mexico, but we don't live there. So 1 to 2, let's go maybe some 3-inch totals are possible if we get some slow movers in here. I think 1 to 2 is certainly very doable, but I don't see 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rainfall falling. Do you? Okay, so we'll go with 1 to 2, maybe some 3-inch totals across our area through Sunday. This is mainly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I think we're okay as far as this goes. This will be moving fairly quickly through a 2-day total. And as you can see, rain chances get cut to a 30% coverage on Sunday because higher pressure builds on in. And that's what we showed yesterday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, very little chance of rain and thunderstorm activity due to high pressure and drying in the atmosphere. And again, we may have to elevate this day as far as the rain chances, depending on that moisture moving in from the north and east out of Louisiana. That could bring us a sneak attack as far as shower and thunderstorm activity across southeast Texas. Otherwise, it looks like rainfall totals will be certainly doable. 1, 2, maybe 3 inches across our area. And the good news as far as the rains is we get a break Friday and Saturday on the temperatures, but with the high rebuilding, that's when we start to see those highs right back into the mid 90s. And again, it's just the opposite of the rainfall. Again, the best chances coming up Friday and Saturday. Low rain chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. May not see much across our area. And again, it's because of the amount of moisture that's in the atmosphere. Again, we didn't see pretty much, we saw 1 shower. Okay, I'll give you that in Port Acres. Very low rain or amounts of moisture in the atmosphere. Look how it goes up and then down. So again, it's Friday, Saturday, and then lower chances on Sunday across southeast Texas. And again, it's because of this disturbance in the upper levels mainly. It is going to be watched. There's a small chance this could develop, and it's very unlikely it will be developing, if at all, because of its proximity to the coastline and also because of shear that we're looking at. Otherwise, let me show you that. Again, moisture moving in tomorrow will give us a 10 to 20% coverage. This is the surge of tropical moisture. We see this many times during summertime. This is what keeps us so green compared to West Texas. We get more rain than they do, and this because we're approximately